Welcome back, everyone, to the Uniburo official YouTube channel. I'm your host, Mitchell, and today we're going to show you how to integrate your Simplyk donation pages with Salesforce. And we're going to do this using a little API bridge called Zapier. So to start, we're going to need a few things. We're going to need, obviously, a Simplyk account. We're going to need a Zapier account as well as a Salesforce account. And obviously, if you found this video, hopefully you'll have at least two of the three things. So all you'll need to do is really create a Zapier account. So in Zapier, I went ahead and created a new Zap, and this is what's going to connect our Simplyk to our Salesforce. Currently, though, the Simplyk integration is by invite only, so you need to get that special invite in order to use the integration. But once you have it, it's fairly straightforward. So the first step is that we want to click on the app that we start with. So we're going to want to start with Simplyk, so let's just click on that. It's going to ask us for what trigger we want. In this case, we're going to click on the donation. Let's click on the next. And right here, this is going to ask you which Simplyk account you want to use. I already logged in, but in your case, you just have to click on Connect Account, and you'll just log into your Simplyk account over here, and it will show up over here. Once that's done, we can click on Save and Continue. So now what it just did is it found some few tests that came from Simplyk. So in this case, we just made some fake donations just so that we get some information into the system so that we'll be able to pull it while we do our mapping. So we can hit the drop down menu here and see the information. And so here's a donation that I've made. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. So now we need to add some steps. So we got to figure out what we want to do with this information from Simplyk. So to start, I'm going to click on Add a Step. I'm going to click on an action, and I'm going to click on Salesforce. So the first step that we want to do is we actually want to find out whether the person who made the donation actually exists already in Salesforce. So what we want to do is find a contact. So in this search for action, I'm going to write find, and I'm going to write find a contact. Save and continue. It's going to ask you to log into your Salesforce, which I've already done. So it's going to ask us what we want to search by. And so in Salesforce, I've actually made a formula field called internal matching. And I'll show you what this looks like in Salesforce. So here we are in Salesforce. On the contact object, I've made a custom formula field which just pulls the last name of the contact, adds a comma, and then adds the email. So this kind of helps us figure out who is actually making the donation, and these should be unique to each person. So going back into Zapier now, that's that matching field that I'm going to match my Simplyk form with. And now I got to click what search values I want. And so what I'm going to do here is just match those the same. So I want to say the last name, and it actually fills in with the last name of the person. Put that comma, and then put the email here. There's this checkbox that asks whether we want to create a contact if it already doesn't exist, which is what I want to do, just in case I have someone new who is donating. So here we have last name. I'm going to put the last name, and from here on out, you're just basically filling in the information that matches from Simplyk to Salesforce. We're just mapping everything. So I'm going to go ahead and map that, and I'll be back. So I just finished mapping all the fields from Simplyk to the fields I want them to go to in Salesforce. I'm going to scroll down here, just giving you a quick confirmation of what's going on. And now you want to test the step by just clicking Fetch and Continue. So now it's either looking for that contact in Salesforce, or it is going to create that contact. So once that's done, I'm going to click on Finish. And I'm going to go ahead and add a second step. And again, it's going to be an action, and it's going to be with Salesforce again. Now I want to create a donation. So in order to do that, I want to write create opportunity. Click on Save and Continue. Again, it's going to ask for your Salesforce account. And now we get to map everything again, but now for the actual donation that was made. For our Salesforce, we have the name automated, so I'm just going to put an X here. That will get changed once the donation is made. The stage, this will be close 1. The close date is going to be the donation date. So here it is, creation date. The account, this is where it gets a little tricky. So you have to click on the account. We want to scroll down to where it says use a custom value. And then when we go to here, we want to click on the find or create contact. And then here, this ID will be the contact ID, but if we keep scrolling down, we'll find the account ID. And so this is the account ID associated with the contact that it just found or that it just created. So that's the ID I want to click on. And everything else now is fairly straightforward. So for the amount, I can just put those in, and you can fill in all this information as well. And one key thing that I like to point out is that for our receipt number, that Simplyk has the receipts done automatically. So you can put that receipt number in here. And then we also have a field called the Simplyk receipt, because the Simplyk receipts are just URLs. So, and it's available over here, and that when I do this, the actual URL will be available in Salesforce for me to see at any given point in time without saving the actual receipt in your Salesforce. So this way you save on a whole bunch of space. I'm going to just keep on mapping the rest of the fields here, and then I'll come right back once I'm done with that. And we're back. So I just finished mapping the rest of those opportunity fields. And again, it's going to give you that quick little recap. And I'm going to click on Send Test to Salesforce. Okay, so our test was just sent to Salesforce. And now we can jump into Salesforce and see what we've done. Okay, so here we are in Salesforce. This is just our demo org that we use for testing purposes. So let's go ahead and search for our contact that we created. So we're looking for a Michael Eisner. So here he is. We have Michael Eisner over here. So here is his contact page. And over here on the right, we can see that his opportunity was created, or his donation. And it looks like all of the information was correctly pulled. We have the amount received, the status, receipt status isn't required. We actually have that Simplyk receipt number. We have the receipt as well. And if I click on that link, it brings me to the Simplyk receipt. So here is the receipt that was generated for this donation. Again, this doesn't even live in Salesforce. This is on the Simplyk side. And we see that the creation date was just a few minutes ago. So once that is done, your Zap is ready to go. So it is just a simple 3-step Zap, and you can go ahead and activate that once you're ready to go. I can't because we're using a just free trial of Zapier. To use Salesforce, you need the starter plan. Just a quick heads up. But that's going to be it. So that's it for this episode, guys. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, and I'll be hanging out there to answer any problems. See you guys next time.